Abdirahman was a man born into struggle. By the time he reached his 30th year, he had already seen more hardship than most would face in a lifetime. Living in Somalia during the early 1990s, his world was turned upside down when civil war erupted, tearing through the country like a storm. Every day brought new dangers. Every night was filled with the fear that it could be their last. Abdirahman had a small family, his beloved wife, Ayan, and their 3 young children. They lived a simple life, but the war shattered whatever semblance of peace they once had. The violence came too close, and with heavy hearts, Abdirahman and Ayan made the agonizing decision to flee their homeland, hoping to find safety in neighboring Ethiopia. The journey was grueling. On foot, they traversed arid landscapes under the unforgiving sun, carrying their children on their backs, their few possessions reduced to what they could carry. The days stretched into weeks, and with every step, the weight of their uncertainty grew heavier. They were not alone in their flight. Thousands of others fled with them, each carrying the same hope of finding refuge from the chaos. When they finally arrived at the refugee camp in Ethiopia, they were met with a harsh reality. Life in the camp was brutal. Resources were scarce, and food was even scarcer. The small rations they received were barely enough to keep them alive. There were days when the family went without eating, their bodies growing weaker with each passing day. As members of a minority clan, Abdirahman and his family faced discrimination, even among their fellow refugees. It seemed that the nightmare they had tried to escape had followed them into this new land. Abdirahman did what he could to provide for his family. He searched for work within the camp, offering to do any job, no matter how menial, in exchange for a little food. But opportunities were few, and the discrimination he faced often left him with nothing. The pain of watching his children go hungry gnawed at his soul, and he could see the despair growing in Ayan's eyes. Despite the overwhelming odds, Abdirahman refused to give up. He clung to the hope that one day their suffering would end, and they would find a way out of this endless cycle of poverty and despair. Then a glimmer of hope appeared, a chance for resettlement in the United States. It was a long shot, a fragile dream, but Abdirahman grabbed onto it with both hands. He filled out the necessary forms, each stroke of the pen trembling with the weight of his desperation. The waiting period was excruciating, as days turned into weeks and then months. But finally, the news came. They had been accepted. Abdirahman could hardly believe it. After all the suffering, the fear, the hunger, they had been given a chance to start over. The transition to life in America was not easy. They arrived with nothing, and the cultural and language barriers were immense. But Abdirahman was determined to make the most of this opportunity. He took on any work he could find, sometimes juggling multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Slowly, things began to improve. The children thrived in school, learning English quickly and adapting to their new surroundings. Ayan, too, found her place in their new community, and for the first time in years, they began to feel a sense of stability. Years passed, and Abdirahman's hard work paid off. He went from barely scraping by to becoming a successful entrepreneur, opening a small business that grew steadily over time. He was finally able to provide a comfortable life for his family, something he had once only dreamed of during those dark days in the refugee camp. Their journey had been long and filled with unimaginable hardships, but they had made it through, stronger and more resilient than ever. Abdirahman's story is one of resilience, hope, and the unwavering belief that better days lie ahead, no matter how dark the present may seem. His journey from a war-torn country through the despair of a refugee camp to a new life in America serves as a powerful reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the human spirit can triumph. His story encourages us to never lose hope, to continue fighting for a better future, and to remember that every challenge we overcome only makes us stronger. This story also highlights the importance of compassion and understanding for those who seek refuge, as they often carry with them not just the scars of their past, but the seeds of their future success.